And it's something that you really need to experience yourself, and you need to come and try it for yourselves. This is what the Eastern mystics would always kind of promote. But it's not a preaching thing. It's come and try it for yourselves. It's what. So I would kind of refrain from giving any specific tips. But I can share my lived experience. When I started it a few years ago, I would try and do it as soon as I woke up in the morning, because as soon as I wake up in the morning, and as soon as we wake up in the morning, that's when the chatter of 1,000 monkeys, that incessant chatter, that voice, that noise, the movie show in the mind, the false mind-made sense of self, the movie show non-stop, just goes on and on. That's when it starts. I've got to do this today, I've got to do that today, I've got to go here, there. So I would just try and get my feet on the floor as soon as possible. I'd set my timer, I'd shut my eyes, and I would just try and breathe and be still. And that's kind of how I did it. In terms of, that's how I started to get into it. In terms of what I would say is, I would advocate the necessity, importance of the daily application of it, the consistency of the application. That is the key, the consistency of it, the practice of it, practicing it, and not trying to achieve or hoping to achieve anything from it, because as soon as we're trying to achieve something from it, the whole point of it is missed, right? If that kind of makes sense. In terms of how it benefited me, my lived experience, all fear leaves you, all anxiety leaves you, all depression leaves you, you stop wanting things, your kind of need for and want an obsession for materialistic things leaves you. You feel strong, you feel powerful, you start to observe yourself think, you become a master of emotional control, and these are the benefits that I've realised from the consistent daily application and practice of meditation at times of my life when I've done it.
Wow, that's great advice, Pepsi, and I'm in full agreement with you on the power of it. I noticed even with small things like myself, like stubbing your toe, the emotional negative reaction, I noticed in myself it was a lot less, and I would cool down a lot more quickly after I started meditating for a while. But we are at about 25 minutes here, Pepsi, so we're nearing the end of our call. Is there anything else you wanna say to the people who are listening, who are supporting you, or anything else that you wanted to mention as far as your writing or reading or future projects?
Yeah, I've got some poetry. I'll read it out if you want.
Yeah, please do, Pepsi.
All right, so this artwork is called Pain is Art, yeah? So this is an extract from some works that I've been writing ever since I was recalled. This is like number 6 or 7. I'm up to like number 10 now. So just briefly, I wrote this in Thameside, and then I've kind of added bits to it, but I wrote this when I was detained in Thameside, and I wrote it at a time when I was really battling with my mental health, and I was suffering quite a lot, and I was having really severe nightmares attributed to PTSD, very vivid nightmares, and the inspiration for this was kind of that experience coupled with the motivation and courage and hope that I was receiving at that time from all the cards and letters and poems and postcards that other people had sent me, Addy. So, I had them all over my wall, and I had all the cards up on my wall and the pictures and postcards and stuff that people had sent me. And I just started writing. That was kind of where the inspiration came from, like I was saying earlier. So, I'll read this out. Let me just catch my breath. This is called Pain is Art, yeah? Still there?
Yeah, I'm listening, Pepsi. Go ahead, brother.
Right. The red roses with glitter, the Bob Dylan song lyrics, the red and blue parrots and koala bears in Oz, the nature, your nurture, green and red lion kings, thank you, you are my queens and kings. I'd fight the power kangaroos on moons, planets covered by winds and blues, with their glows and dustless perfect lights, altruistic giving, no quarrels, no fights. Playful children in parks with kites, hedge fund dudes with guitars in Hong Kong playing a tune, Jupiter with its storm stripes and 4 of its 67 moons. Your love inspires me when low, cute puppies, sunflowers, a rainbow, a black and white pictured oak tree in Mitcham by a lawn. I'm blessed she was born at dawn, my mother Dawn. Such freedom this writing brings, thank you. You are my queens and kings, you inspire me, elevate me, uplift me, rest assured they will never break me. In fact, the adversity made me, it's a fact. This adversity makes me, repetition, this writing is habitual. Maybe I'll attend poetry clubs in the capital. Sport poppies with Manchester Ben and blue suits and Raymond Fields, Belgravia cigar clubs where bankers deal. French artists kick back in the company of silks and psychotherapists, sip whiskey, psychoanalyze psychotherapists, Arabian architects, actors, like sculptors create art. This pain is art. This is 2020 Noah's Ark art. This is class art, masterclass art, pass the whiskey glass. Nominate cigars, pass by the bar, spark cigars under stars, chew fat in Chelsea, send for Uber cars toward West End bars. Shout out to the movement on foot or in cars. All prison staff from my past are welcome for a king's feast at the Mandarin Oriental, London, Hyde Park. I've been punished, I've paid my dues. Shout out Rikers Island, the boys in Harlem and the crews. The biggest risk I pose is fluffing my lines on Sky News. Love keeps no record of wrongs. Whatever happens, keep on keeping on. Love, don't hate, no matter the pain inflicted by the state. London Bridge attackers are not born to hate. Whatever happens, keep on keeping on until the storm's past, the darkness gone. Love brings light, your love brings light, inspires the fight, ignites the fight, fuels the fight, expands the fight, unified. From 1 million yards, the postcards, poems, the photos, the cards. People say, I'll mail you. Chicago, Canada, Wisconsin, Australia. The movement grows, the fight broadens, inspiring a policeman at crime scene cordons. Mental health, your pain brings me sadness. Kids swing from ropes in the woods, but light in the darkness. That is the meaning of hope. All it ever seems is steep uphill. Drink, smoke, take pills, numb the pain. No, feel the pain, embrace the pain. Pain is growth, pain is cleansing. That's where the treasure is. Be brave with the courage of 1,000 soldiers. That's where the treasure is. The measure of a man or woman is the capacity of which we can love by recognizing ourselves in others despite everything. Shout out to the jailers. I smile, laugh with high five to jailers. Smooth seas, never have, never did, make skillful sailors. Love, don't hate, help others, meditate, concentrate, like pro golfers putting. This content is on the edge of cutting. I'm in so much pain, I feel like cutting. Pepsi Watson, digital activists, go to work, then come straight back to this. Speak truth, they cannot handle this. They think they're smart with poor quality report words. How's this for a playlist? How's this for words? How's this for report writing? Truth personified in words. I know my words hurt. Click share these words. Can you spot the famous film words? Go to the comments, discuss, use words. Locked up for life for speaking true words. Break free from the herd. Modern thinkers are dangerous words. Locked up in a cell, bored. My pain is art. It's all I can afford. Inspired, for I have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. The secret to life is to love, not hate. Disciplined, detained behind gates. London Bridge attackers are not born to hate. They are made by the British state. This master copy took 19 hours straight. Meditate on Oasis and Nelly Furtado from Brixton to Chicago, locked up with the drillers. The fake personas, persistent moaners, a selfish hoarder. COVID-19 is a new world order. Priti Patel just shut down the border. Far-right government, racist government, one more generation, one world government. Some say a government is a necessary evil. I say 2020 is the year of a people. True power is possessed by a people. An uprising of people, rise up a people. In the UK, there are 340,000 homeless people. These are people. Some are British soldiers who fought for the people. Respect to my people. One love to my team. I read Robert Greene. They take care of logistics, study Aristotle, quantum physics, and a mystic. Adapt the logistics under the cosh. Pain is art, ask Quadrix Josh. Masterclass artist, the broken heart of an artist. The oppressed are under the cosh. Respect to the mother of Josh. One love to the mother of Josh. This is not about YouTube views or dosh. Freedom isn't free. Freedom costs. Repeat, freedom costs. Reiterate, freedom costs. Did you hear what I said? Your freedom costs. Who's next to be lost? Death threats don't faze me a lot. Inspiring children is worth it. Children talking about my art to a lollipop lady is worth it. That's Pain is art, man.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Pepsi. People are they're really liking it. I'm just looking at the comments here from everyone, and they really like that poetry, man. And a couple people were saying it sounded like rap, and I agree, man. You should start a rap career when you get out.
I don't know about that. I just write what's in my heart. I just write what's in my heart from my experience, from the inspiration of my lived experience, from the inspiration of others. You know, I write it down. I appreciate the comments and the love. You know, it's very touching, very humbling. It gives me immense courage and hope to continue putting one foot in front of the other and to keep on doing everything I can with the limited resources available to me despite the adversity and the extremity of my situation, to just still to try and shine and flourish and excel, you know?
Yeah, definitely, Pepsi. Yeah, we got a lot of great comments here from Phoebe and Rock Girl, Chopping Logs, Quadrex, Dolly, just saying we love you. Judy's reaching out too. So yeah, we really appreciate the knowledge, Pepsi, and the wisdom that you have accrued in your time incarcerated, and appreciate you sharing it. Do you think you'll be able to do this again next week?
Yeah, we can go again. Yeah, no worries, man. We'll sort it out 6 o'clock next Saturday, yeah?
6 o'clock London time. Thank you so much, Pepsi. Have a great week, brother. We're thinking of you.
All the best, man. God bless you, brother.
Cheers. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. I think we did have a brief audio interruption there for a second. Not sure what happened with StreamYard, but thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, we'll be interviewing Pepsi next week, same time, 6 p.m. London time, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you all for tuning in, guys. I'm figuring out a way to route this audio as high quality as possible for everyone. It's a bit of a task, but we're figuring it out. His family has been really helpful. His mom. Yeah, we're just trying to route that audio high quality so people can hear Pepsi. But later today, I'm interviewing Richard Gage from the Architects of 9/11 organization. He's the founder. So if people want to check that out, it'll be later tonight, around 4 or 5 Pacific time. So a little later, like 7 or 8 Eastern time, if people want to check that out. I got a lot more interviews coming up soon as well. Got an interview with a sexologist, a woman who studies sex and intersexual relationships, and a couple more authors as well. I'm really excited for. Got Nick Bryant on, the trailblazer in the Epstein case. So I'm really excited for that. We actually were supposed to talk yesterday, but something came up, so we're going to talk tomorrow instead. thank you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate that. Trying to think of what else we got. Yeah, so yeah, just those interviews in the works. So be on the lookout for that. So again, Richard Gage this evening, guys. Hopefully you can tune into that. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Pepsi Watson live from prison.